The stock market has performed very well in recent months no matter where you'll look around the world. What's interesting is that investors have been selling. This is extremely odd. Historically, this has happened before, right near the last recession. There's no telling when the next recession will occur, but what we can determine right now is where the money is moving in and out of. Regardless, right now, something ain't right. You came here for the truth, so let me unveil that for you. Today we're going to talk about an ongoing issue, and that is investors are selling and the stock market is rising. That is really a difficult thing to wrap your head around, but you have to figure what's happening here in the markets should be representative of the economy. It should be representative of the consumer sentiment, of the investor sentiment. Nothing makes sense right now. If you take it on any level, you see that nothing at all makes sense. All we know is that central banks are printing money, stocks are going higher. In a nutshell, this is what we're going to talk about today. If you have a low attention span, you can't stick around. Investors have been selling equities since September, October timeframe. Meanwhile, stocks have been rising all throughout 2019, more specifically the last week of 2018 and beyond, and money is moving into fixed income assets. If you want to know the real deal, the truth, let's begin by taking a look at this. The information for the fund flows comes from two sources. You can grab this from the EPFR. All right, and who is the EPFR? Well, basically, they are collecting all of the information from equity funds over 104 emerging and developed markets. For bonds, it's 108. And this information is collected weekly, and then that's provided to those who subscribe to their platform. Now, this here is just one of them. This, of course, costs money. If you want to take a look at Lipper, you can see Lipper US Fund Flows, and this gives you an idea, a little bit of a free snippet here. If you want to check out their website, lipperusfundflows.com, link will be in the description under the sources. You can see the weekly fund flows. And what you're seeing right here is basically in the first paragraph that all equity funds report net outflows totaling $1.8 billion. So we can see that this gives us a little idea of what's happening for free. You don't need to subscribe, just check out the data that's available here, and that will give you a little bit of insight into what's happening. Okay, I want to show you the sources themselves. This is where all of these different websites you might see, Market Watch articles, Bloomberg articles, CNBC, they're going to pull it from these two sources. So I think it's really important to find it directly from the source when you can, or at least know where it's coming from. So links will be in the description if you so choose. This here just gives us an idea. In the red, you're seeing equity fund flows. On the right hand side, you're seeing fixed income. You can look at the credit not stocks flows, year to date fund flows in the billions of dollars, just showing you right here $91 billion into the negative for equities versus $102 billion that has been going into corporate high yield and emerging market debt. This is important to see. You can look at where the money is going to, where it's coming from. Of course, if you're wondering, well, then who the hell is buying? Well, if you've been living under a rock or you haven't been able to see these videos before, it's very clear that there have been two major objectives, and that has been to increase the amount of stock buybacks that have been happening. This was extremely high throughout 2018. I believe that was an all-time record high, and it looks to be outpacing that in 2019. So that's number one. And number two has been the central bank activity. So that gives you an idea of what's happening there. I just wanted to show you in chart form as well to give you an idea of where the money is moving to and from. This is the utilities outflows at a 2-year high weekly fund flow specifically for utilities, and you'll see that moving into the negative. This is just more information on top of all of that. Now, what I have seen with so many people out there is that they look at this information and they see $91 billion that has left the stock market, and I constantly see this where they take the total amount of money in the stock market. All right, and for example, what I'm finding here from the World Bank, this is back in 2017 numbers, they say it's $77 trillion. So they take 77 trillion and they divide it by the 91 billion, and they say, look how much money has moved out. You don't know what you're talking about. This is not a problem. Don't worry. But you need to realize what's actually going on, okay? This isn't the entire stock market that's going to evaporate in a single night. overnight. It doesn't work like that. Money moves. You need to understand it. It's not as if you're going to take that money, you're going to sell it, and you're going to put it in cash under your mattress as if all of these investment companies are doing so. The investor that thinks like that has that type of mentality, is that what I call the 7 share of Amazon type investor. They own these particular shares and they have them, and then their only option is basically I'll sell it and then I'm going to do something else with that money. This is not the way that these big establishments, the actual real money, the way that they work. So you have to completely go outside of your retail investor type mentality, and you need to realize what's happening in the financial industry. It might be difficult for a lot of those who are not in the financial industry, have never worked in the financial industry, but if you just see the actual information, that's why I do videos about this. That's why I constantly do videos about this, because you can see the other side, the other picture, what you're not. You're looking at Seeking Alpha and they're telling you the 3 hot stocks to buy this afternoon. It's probably not the best thing for you, but I'll leave that up to you. That's it. I'm going to end the video. Hopefully it was short. I'm going to just say, if you found it informative, then please give me a thumbs up. By giving this video a like, you are supporting this channel, so I do appreciate that very much. If you want the financial education you weren't taught in school, these 2 books have everything you need from A to Z, top to bottom: foundation, history, how to profit, self-sufficiency, reducing your expenses, so much more. Check them out at the link in the description. If you want the audiobook, that's available at themoneygps.com. If you want to know what's really going on behind the scenes, then you definitely need to watch this video. Click on it and I will see you there.